Hi everyone. In today's challenge, we are going to solve this problem. The problem name is Design HashSet and the problem number is 705. Alright guys, so as usual, first of all, we are going to clearly understand this problem statement. After that, we are going to move to the logic part. We are going to see how we can solve this problem. And after that, we are going to move to the implementation part. We are going to implement our logic in C++, Java and Python programming language. Fine guys, now let's see what this problem says, right? So problem says design a hash set without using any built-in hash table library. So in this problem, we have to design nothing but a hash set. So if you know Java, then you have a hash set, right? If you know Python, then you have only set, right? So you can do like this: my set is equal to set. Like if you want to declare empty set, otherwise you can use a curly braces and you can pass your value. In C++, we also have a set. We have another set as well, right? So ordered and unordered set, right? So set integer. After that, you can pass my set, right? So this is how you can declare. So this is nothing but a set, which is basically store our data and help us to get a data in just big of one or big of log of n. If you are that is depend on your, we can say, programming language, right? Which set you are using. But it helps us to get a data in just less amount of time, right? So here, what we have to do, we have to implement that particular set data structure. And let's see how we can do this, right? So here you can see implement my hash set class. So we have a class, the name is my hash set, and there we have three methods: add, contains, and remove. So basically, we need three methods, right? Whenever we use set, what we do, we actually insert some data in our hash set. So that is basically add function. Or after that, sometimes we need to check whether that data is present or not. So that is a contains method. And this sometimes we need to remove a data from our hash set, right? So that is a remove method. And one more thing, we will have a constructor, right? So that is also sure. Whenever we have a class, we also going to have a constructor, right? Fine. This method add is going to add the data in our hash set. Contain tell us that whether data is present or not in our hash set. And remove is going to remove the data from our hash set. And if that data is present only, if data is not present, so it's going to do nothing, right? It will not remove anything. Fine, that is clear, right? Now let's see this example. So here, guys, you can see this example here. First of all, we have initialize the object. So this constructor got called, and this is gonna do nothing, right? So this is gonna do nothing. After that, we have add. We have added one in our hash set. So let's see in our this is our hash set. So we have added one. Fine. After that, we add two. So we have added two as well. After that, we are checking. We are using a contains method, which is gonna check whether one is present or not. So yeah, one is present. So we are gonna return true. After that, again a contains method. It is going to check whether 3 is present or not. You can see in our hash set we have only 1 and 2, right? 3 is not present. So it's going to return false. After that, one more method add, which is going to add. What is going to add? It's going to add 2. So 2 is already present, right? So we don't need to add again, right? Contains. So contain is nothing but again it's going to check whether 2 is present. Yes, 2 is present. So it's going to return 2. You can see 2. And after that, remove. What we are going to remove? We are going to remove 2. So yeah, 2 is there. So we are going to remove 2, right? After that, contain. Now 2 is present. No, 2 is not present. So it's going to return false. So I hope guys now you understood what this flow is going to work, right? So this hash set is going to have a three methods. My hash set class, add, contain, and remove. And we have to work according to this functionality. So now let's see the logic part, how we can solve this problem. So logic is going to be really easy. In this video, we are going to discuss two logic. The first is going to be nothing but we can say it is also good one, but it is going to take a little space, and I don't think it will take a little space also. But yeah, I don't think it is the right one to use, right? So the first logic is nothing but we have a constraint here that this particular value 1, 2, or 3, it is going to go more than it is. It can be always in the range of 1 to 10 is to power 6, right? So why we can't make an array of this much size and we can keep checking whether it is present or not, right? So the first is logic is simple. Let's write here first logic. We'll understand the next better approach also, but let's understand this one. So what we are going to do, we are going to say array is going to be nothing but a size of this 10 is for 6. So this is going to have and we are going to initialize by default value -1, right? So -1 so on up to 10 is for 6 -1, right? After that, what we are going to do, whenever add function is going to call, so what we are going to do, we're going to say, let's say add of call for 2, right? So here add call for 2, that means we have to add 2 value in our hash set, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to say on first second index just make it 0, rest everything is going to remain same. After that, contain, it's going to check, let's say it's going to check whether 2 is present or not. So we're going to say if that particular index have value 0, so true, otherwise return false, right? So if we want to, if this content going to say, if let's see or tell me whether 1 is present or not. So you can see on one index we have -1, that means 1 is not present, right? After that, remove. So whenever we need to remove any value, so what we are going to do, we are going to say on that index just again override with a -1, right? If there was a 0, so it will go overwrite -1. That means this has removed that particular data in our hash set. If there was already -1, so it will again overwrite -1. So this will not going to change anything, right? So this is the basically simple logic. We have to create a array of size 10 is per 6 as the given constraint. After that, we have to just use simple method. On add, we are going to add, we can say 0 on that particular index. Contain, going to check whether that particular index has 0 value or not. If it has 0, so we are going to return true. Otherwise, we are going to return false. Remove is going to just add -1 on that particular index. So this is just basically 3 line of code. And this by this we have implemented, we can say design hash set. But the second logic we are going to see, which is nothing but we can say we are going to define an array of less size. Let's say 32771, right? It is also, I guess, little bigger, right? So you can take care of any of the data. Let's say you have designing 1000. So that depend on you, right? So once you have defined on that particular thing 1000, what you are going to do, you're going to get a hash value of every key. Now let's understand this in detail because it may get confuse you. So what I mean by this, let's say I told that I will have an array of size, uh, let's keep it a 1000, right? So I have array of size 1000. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to say on every value, let's say here a value come 2, right? I want to insert 2 in my hash. So let's say this is my hash. So I want to insert 2. So what I will do, I will do the because a modulus of this 1000. Why? If I do modulus of 1000, so what it gonna do, it gonna return a value between 0 to 1000. Like 1000 will also not never include, right? 0 to 999, right? We can say, yeah, 999. So it's gonna return the value between this, and we can say we have always gonna get between this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna initialize we can say an array, or we can say 2D array, right? So we're gonna say if that value repeat, because we, you know that if we have a this particular thing, if we want to insert 1, so 1 modulus 1000 is gonna return nothing but 1, right? So we have we go to 1 and we are gonna return, we're gonna add on that index our value. So I know it may get confuse you, so it's better to make an example of this, right? So let's say I have this array. Currently assume that I have gonna get only 10 value, right? So I have this 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index, 4 index, and 5 index. So this means 0 to 6. So let's say I gonna get always the value between 0 to 6, not 0, 1 to 6, right? That makes sense, right? Now what we are going to do, guys, we are going to say on every index, let's say now I want to this, and this is my hash set, right? So this is my hash set. We have nothing. A hash set is nothing but this is only, right? So let's say now what we are going to do, we are going to insert something, right? So let's say I want to insert 3. So how can I insert 3? I'm going to say just find 3 more the length of this. What is the length? Length is 6. So we're going to say 3 more 6, which is going to mean return 3, right? So it is gonna, which is going to return me 3. So what I can do, I can say on 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, and third index. On third index, this is inside of array we have an array, right? Here you can insert 3. Why? Why I'm taking an array? Because if I'm getting a value, let's say 9, right? So what the answer we are going to get? Here also 9 mod 6 is nothing but we can say 3, right? So 9 is also going to come at this position only, so we can append it. I hope this makes sense, right? So this is gonna do like the job. We are gonna inserting us more value in this particular one index only, right? And for getting the value, whether we need to check how we can check whether the, 9 is present or not. So first of all, we are gonna get a key, that means hash value. So we are gonna 9 mod 6, which is gonna return me 3. On that index, we are gonna traverse it, and we are gonna check it whether 9 is present or not. If 9 is present, so return true, otherwise return false. I hope this makes sense. And for deleting a particular value, we're gonna again gonna get we can say hash first of all. So we're gonna say 9 mod hash 6. So 9 mod 6 is gonna be 3. Now we're gonna traverse on this particular third index array, and after that we're gonna say if 9 is present, so remove this, otherwise don't remove this. Right? I hope this makes sense. So first step is nothing but get hash value, and that depend on you what hash value you are using. Here I use 6, you can use 1000, you can use 2000, anything. Second thing is nothing but once you have got hash, traverse over that particular index in this your array of that hash, let's say result. After that, check if that value is present, so return true, otherwise return false. And for inserting, just directly check if it already present, don't insert it. If it is not present, so insert it. And for deleting, check first of all if it is present, so delete it, otherwise don't delete it, right? So let's move to the implementation part, and let's implement both the logic first of all in Python. Then we'll move to the C++ and Java, right? So in Python, first of all, I'm going to define a first logic, that is self.array, which is going to be nothing but by default going to have -1 or I in range of 2, 4, and 6, right? Once this is done, we are going to say on self dot arr array means array of that particular key. I'm going to say 0, right? Once this is done, on remove, what I'm going to do directly, I'm going to do self dot array of key, just make it -1, and for contain, just going to say return self dot arr of key should be equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, that means it is present, otherwise it is not present. So let's run this code and see whether it's working fine or not. And I hope it will work, right? So it is not a big deal, guys. So let's try to submit this code. So it's taking a time, but it got submitted, right? So you can see that it successfully got submitted. Now let's move to the second logic in this Python only. So that is nothing but I'm going to define, like I'm going to do the little less space. So I'm going to say here 1000, right? I'm going to do 1000. Here what I'm going to do, I'm going to say empty array. So once this is done, I'm going to say make one more function, that is get hash. And get hash, and here I'm going to say self, and here I'm going to get a value, let's say key. Here I'm going to say key mode 1, 1000 I have used, so I'm going to say 1000, right? So this is going to return the modulus of 1000. Once this is done, I'm going to check first of all inserting, tell me the key first, hash. So hash is going to be nothing but get hash, so I can use using a self hash get, not hash, we have used get hash. After that we can pass this key, so it's going to return the hash value. Now we have to check first of all whether if that particular we can say key is present in our self.arr of this hash. If it is present, so directly you can say don't add it, so you can directly return it, right? And if it is not present, so we can directly make check of this. If key is not present in this hash, so what we are going to do, we are going to say self.arr of hash, just append this particular key. All right, so this is done. Now in the remove function, we are going to say okay, get first of all this hash value, self dot get hash, and we can pass this key. Now once you have done this particular functions, once you are getting the hash value, after that you have to check on removing part whether it is present or not, right? So we can say if key is present in our self dot arr of hash, then we have to remove it. Self dot arr dot remove self dot arr of hash dot remove, and what you can remove, you can remove this particular key. And in containers we have to check, only nothing do. So we can just copy this line simple, and we can copy it here, and we can paste it, right? So here just we are going to check return key is present in this self array dot hash or not, right? So let's run this code and see whether it's working fine or not. And you can see this also got accepted, right? So let's try to submit this code, and that depends on your guys range, right? If you are taking less range, so it's going to make a nested array of more size, right? So you can see it also got submitted. Now let's move to the next programming language, that is in Java. And in Java, first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to create a hash. Not hash, here we can't use a hash. Here we are going to create a array list of integer, and the name I'm going to give array. This array is going to be nothing but new array list, and here the size is going to be nothing but, let's say, 1000. After that, I'm going to define a public get hash, and here integer key, right? And here we can say return this key node, yeah, key mode is particular 1000, and here we can simply return it. After that, we have to, every time we have to get hash, right? So hash is equal to get hash, and we can say this particular key. This we need for every time, right? So we can say copy this one, and let's paste it over here. Let's paste it over here, right? After, once we are getting this particular hash, after that we have to check first of all. So we are going to say in value of this array of hash, right? We have to traverse over this, and we have to check if value is already present, if value is equal to our key, so we can say directly return it, right? We don't want to insert it again, so return directly. But if it is not present, so we can say at the end array of hash dot add this particular key. And in the remove method also, we are going to do the same thing. If first of all we have to check whether key is present. If it is present, so remove, otherwise don't move it, right? So we can say, what we can do, we can say if arr of hash dot contains this particular key. If it is contain a key, so what you can do, you can simply remove it, right? And for that, what you can do, you can say simply arr what after that we can say hash, then we can use remove, and here we can use integer dot value of, and here we can pass our key, right? Once this is done, we are going to move to the contain method, and here we have to check it if this key is present or not. Directly we can say return arr of hash dot contains, and here we can pass a key, right? So now let's run this code and see whether it's working fine or not. Here we got an error get hash. Alright, so we haven't used a data type, return data type, so that is going to be nothing but integer only, right? Okay, now let's see. Okay, one more thing, that is nothing but hash key 1000. So here we are getting a cannot invoke a null pointer expectations. So this get hash is returning us something, and we are getting it right. So int value is gonna be nothing but array of hash. Alright, so guys, the same issue is nothing but we can say uh, I hope you are getting it. We have array list, right? We have created a inside of integer we have created an array list, but we have not initialized it, right? So we can say for every index you have to initialize first of all. So array list, or you can say arrays dot fill, and you can pass this array and you can initialize with a new array list, right? Now let's run this code and see whether it's working fine or not. You can see test case accepted. Let's try to submit this code. And I hope guys the first logic, which was the basic just 3 line of code, you can do it by yourself in Java as well. We just need to create an array of 1000 not 10 raised power 6 size, right? And after that you can just make it 0 and -1. Now let's move to the C++. There we are going to again create an array of vector, right? So we can say vector int arr, and the size we are going to give that is 1000. Let's say 1000, and here we can say what we can do nothing in constructor. We can just come to this particular thing. Here we can say first of all a get hash value. So let's make that method. So we can say integer get hash, and here it's going to take a value. We're going to return key mode. Let's write here mode 1000, not 1000. Let's make it 1000 only, right? After that, what we are going to do, we are going to say every time get hash. So int hash is going to be nothing but get hash, which is going to be take a key value. Once we go to value hash, what we are going to do, we are going to say if it is present, don't add it again. If it is not present, then only add it, right? So we can say what we can do, we can say traverse over this into value in our arr of hash. After that, you can say if value is equal to arr, not arr key, right? So you can simply return it, right? So because it is already present. If it is not present, so you can say arr of hash, hash, and here you can say push where, and you can pass your key. So this is how we can insert a data in our hash. So now once we are inserting it, now we have to remove it, right? So how we can remove it? First of all, take that particular key again, right? So let's copy this again, and this time I haven't pasted in all the function, right? So I have to paste it on the function. Fine. Now once we are getting a hash, after that what we have to do? We have to check it whether it is present or not. So we can say auto it this iterator, which is gonna use a find method, and here we can say arr of hash dot begin, arr dot hash. Let me let hash. What is happening here? Dot end, and after that we can pass a value key. If it is present, so it's gonna return true. Otherwise, it not it. If it is present, so it's gonna be not at the end of, right? So we can say if it is not equal to we can say arr of hash dot end. That means it is present. If it is present, so arr dot remove. So we can directly not remove. We can use erase, and we can pass this particular iterator. And here we have to use arr of hash, right? If it is not present, so we don't need to do anything, right? So I hope this makes sense. And here also we can say directly simple. This thing we can do. We can use the same method here as well. So this method is going to tell us whether it is present or not, right? So we can say return this particular thing. If it is, we can say not equal to. If it is not equal to arr of hash dot end, right? If it is not equal to this, then what you have to do? You have to return. We can say true, right? If it is present. If it is present, then it will not equal to the end, right? Otherwise, you have to return false. Let's run this code. So this is basically conditional statement, right? If it is present, then return true, otherwise return false. So you can see it is accepted as well. So let's try to submit this as well. And I hope guys it will also get submitted, right? And here we go guys. We have successfully submitted, right? So we have successfully solved this in C++, Java and Python. We have seen two logic. We have implemented two logic in Python as well. And also we have understood the problem statement. If you have guys any doubt in any of the part, implementation part, logic part, or understanding part, you can write in the comment section. I'm always there to help you. And if you learn something new in this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Meet you in the next video.